A new poll on the reliability of journalists comes from Pew, which makes sense because it stinks for the press. Less than half of Americans have a great deal of confidence in them. I wonder why.
The beginning of the end of the Trump presidency.
He's got to know his future looks like it's behind bars.
It's clear that Mueller is now connecting the dots between a massive obstruction intended to hide the truth.
And that this cloud about collusion with Russia will hang over him no matter where he stands.
The president sees the walls closing in and is lashing out.
The presidency is effectively a Russian op.
That's a montage. So Americans rank the press behind lawyers and above elected officials. That's like saying you're worse than vermin, but not as bad as lice. Sorry, Emily. But the numbers would have been worse were it not for Fox News. The reason? We're awesome, which is why the other guys hate us so much. It seems like other cable networks exist just to watch Fox.
Fox News.
Fox News.
Fox News.
This is what Fox is about.
Fox News.
Out of Fox News.
Figures on Fox News.
Fox News.
Watching Fox.
Fox News.
My God, what if we stopped working? CNN would have to actually cover news. But then who could they blame everything on, right, Chris?
Everyone around him has a mask on. Now, he doesn't because he wants to keep up the Fox farce, this BS that COVID-19's overrated. I guess the anti-elitists over there are okay with 10,000 more dead.
Ugh, what a child. So this guy has the gall to blame us for future death. What about death that already happened, i.e. the actual thousands in rest homes he failed to ask his bro about because he had other things on his mind?
Do you think that you are an attractive person now because you're single and ready to mingle? Do you really think you are some desirable single person and that this is not just people's pain coming out of them?
I think beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
And 5,200 people died in rest homes. Anyway, the polls suggest the media doesn't act on behalf of the public, probably because they hate the public. The press is overeducated, cloistered, far removed from people who actually make things. Their idea of slumming it is non-organic quinoa. I wonder if the media became truly diverse, especially in perspective, would they have gotten so much wrong? Would they have missed Trump's victory or seen through the collusion and obstruction hoax, the impeachment travesty? Would they have seen the coronavirus coming instead of drooling over Adam Schiff's lies? Would they have seen Michael Flynn for what he was, a hero getting screwed? The fact is, we know the media is broken, and the only entity not reporting it is the media. We need a 12-step program for the press. The first one would be to buy them a mirror. Emily, what's your take on the poll? Emily?
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry I didn't hear that because someone was in my ear. What was the question?
Nothing. I was just gonna say hi. They told me to be fast, but apparently they screwed it all up. What are your thoughts on the poll?
I'm really sorry. Okay, look, I think that I think everyone underestimates the power of an autonomy of every individual to make their own decision. And that's why I'm so proud and honored to work here, because we convey everything so that the viewer can make their own decision. A couple decades ago, I used to commute to work on a ferry, and every day I read the physical paper of that metropolis's main paper, and it was so one-sided. It disgusted me. I stopped reading it, and I've sort of had a suspicion about them ever since that it grew. But it was I who made that decision. The rest of the media isn't giving their viewers or their listeners a choice.
Yeah. You know, Jesse, one thing I like about you is your ability for self-reflection. Why is that missing in other parts of the media?
Oh, I don't know. If I knew, I'd tell you, Greg, but I don't have that type of ability. Did Emily just say she reads a periodical on a ferry to a metropolis?
Yes.
I said
wow,
a couple decades
that's a lot
ago.
to take. Okay, whatever. Also, Greg, before I say something serious, what would ever happen if you met Cuomo at a bar or something like that? How do you think that would go between you guys?
I don't know. I have a feeling we don't go to the same bars.
Yeah, yeah, maybe. But if you did, I just have a feeling it might not go so well for you. Here's the only serious point I have for this is this. The same people that brought us Russia collusion are now telling us Obamagate is a conspiracy.
Right.
The media, they don't care. They get it all wrong. Everything they say is usually it's the opposite. Like if they say that the Obama Spygate thing was done by the books, you know it was dirty as sin.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say.
Dana, I have a theory that division is the hamburger helper of CNN. They take a story, they figure out how to divide, and that makes the story bigger. It's their hamburger helper.
I loved a hamburger helper, indeed. It's pretty interesting that 48% of people actually have a great deal or a fair amount of trust in the media. So, I mean, maybe that is something to look at in terms of the polarization that we have. I'm not exactly sure. But I do think it is quite rich that somebody who was recovering from coronavirus went on Ferris Bueller's Day Off and then pretended that he didn't and then staged his reemergence from his basement after he recovered from coronavirus.
Yeah. That's a classic. It will live forever. Juan, last word to you. Agree with me if you must.
I have to. Well, how can I argue with you, Gregory? I think I was taken by what you said, because you said, as Dana just pointed out, it's like half of the American people do have some or a high degree of confidence in the media, but fewer have confidence in our politicians. And I think that the polls show, even on the coronavirus, again, about 50% of Americans trust the media, but only like 35% trust the president. So, I mean, you could play it either way. You wish
Nice
we could
dodge,
have
Juan.
confidence in all, because I want Emily to be able to read her journal on her ferry and know that it's the truth.
There you go. All right.